All right, morning everybody. Going to start doing some weekly vlogs and just document what I'm doing, especially over the school holidays, and I'll continue it just to see what the views are, and if people are interested in it, I'll keep doing it. So I'm actually gonna record it today, but it'll be a week. I'll post it a week out, so I've got time to edit it. If I get super busy, I've got a day or two to edit things and repost them on the right days. So just be a week in front of where I am. So if I go live, then I'm a week ahead of you. But anyway, doing a small courtyard clean here. So the only problem with this one is the only access is through the house to get into this unit. Do a little section out the front there as well. Tenants have moved out because it's basically just been let go. So they're in the process of cleaning everything. But I'm just going to tidy up this little area out here, tidy up that out there. So let's run the hoses. All right, so we've just done this patio, 25 minutes. Knocked it out, put a bit of chlorine on it. Just gonna go back through the house. We've got a little mop, so we're just gonna. They got a bong cleaners coming in, so I'm not too worried about dampness in there. I just don't want muddy footprints. So I'm just gonna walk the front here. Throw that out there. I'm gonna close and lock that door. Because what I want to do is I want to shut this front door so I can blow out all this front patio. So I've done all the surface cleaning. I just want to trim it, push it, clean it all up out there, drop the chemical on, and then I'm out of here. So talking total job is going to take me about 40 minutes, minimum charge. So we're just going to get it done. So done. 40 minutes. We started this at 7:30. It's 10 past 8. 40 minutes. We're out. We're going to head to the next job, which is just tidying off a little shed roof that I didn't finish on Friday. And then we got the QCAT call. I'm not going to record that, but that's dealing with an old problem. And then we're going to head to a roof clean. So let's get this done. All right, leaving home. Just did QCAT call. Just got 2 big boxes from the States. So I got to clean up the garage. Don't judge me. Got 2 boxes. We got the remote control units. There's 3 there available for sale. So if anybody wants one, hit up the website waterattack.com.au/gear. It's in the description. Got to build a whole bunch of manifolds and stuff, but we're going to head to a line marking quote, and then we're going to head to a roof clean, and then we're going to go pick up the trailer for the line marking job tomorrow. Pull the paint out of the shed for the line marking job and proceed with that. We've got a guy jumping in the truck tomorrow for training. So we've got a lot going on. Pretty busy Easter long weekend, which is 2 weeks. Kids are going to the mother-in-law's for a week with the wife. So we're busy. And then we got IGA clean Tuesday night. So we are going to head to a quote. We'll go do that now and then go from there. All right, guys, so I'm just filming this the week after. So we had the QCAT call today, which is a week from now. So everything's been settled. We had their solicitors got involved in the QCAT because they were claiming it was our fault for sending the fraudulent email because our emails got hacked. So that was their argument to try and get out of paying any extra money. So what happened in the call was this happened in September last year. They couple of phone calls backwards and forwards. It come to October, and then we said, well, we're not going to let this rest and we're going to pursue it. And we sent them a letter of demand from our solicitor, and then they got their solicitor involved. And then apparently in December they sent, because we sent a QCAT filing to them in November, so they sent us a letter of resolvement from their solicitor via email, and we didn't receive that email because we increased the security on our website, which means we're not receiving emails that we should be. We don't receive a lot of emails from over states, which we've had a ton of problems with trying to buy gear from overseas because we're not receiving emails because our security is so tight now. So that happened. Like I said on the QCAT call to their solicitor, I'm like, why wouldn't you ring us and verify that we've got the email, because we could have solved this problem in December and not got to the 4th month, and the stress that is involved in that, like my partner just can't handle that stress. Like it's $15,000 is a lot of money to outlay in a job that you don't get paid for. So there's a lot of things that we've learned from this, where we don't normally charge deposits on well, I normally charge deposits, but I really didn't think a local bowls club I would require a deposit from them. So I've got back into the stage where I do a printed out invoice and I send it to them. And even if you don't want to collect a deposit, just collect $100 for the client. If you need to do more, well, that's up to you what you do. If you do a 50% deposit or a 30% deposit, but just jobs that big, just do a printed out version and hand it to them in person, and always put in that quote or in that invoice that please ring to confirm bank account details. That way, if you do email over the final draft and it's not the same, because what I do is I'll print out 3 invoices. So I'll print out the total invoice, I'll print out a deposit invoice, and then I'll print out an invoice with a deposit paid. So that way they got the 3 forms of amounts that have left owing, and I'll put it in a nice folder with my with a sticker or something on top of it. So that's what I used to do with my painting side of things, going back in the day, because you know it wouldn't be shy of doing a $10,000, $20,000, $50,000 job. So you definitely want to make sure that gets paid into the right bank account. So that's what we're going to do moving forwards. A lot of these big body corps that we do go through body corps, and we've already dealt with them, and we find that they ring up to verify our details anyway, so we don't have to worry about them too much. It's this when you're dealing with the individual body corps, individual companies, so just watch them, because it's that easy to get hijacked with your emails. We didn't even know it was happening, so we had no idea until this happened. So at the end of the day, they offered us a half payment. They're out of pocket, we're out of pocket. We probably lost somewhere around $2,500 we paid for a solicitor to write up a letter and stuff like that, lodging QCAT, which is around $1,000 to lodge QCAT, to get a solicitor to write up our letter and then to lodge it through them. So we lost about $2,500, which was way better than losing 9. 9 was the cost of that job. 15 was the total job with the profits. I'm not worried about that. I was just more worried about covering the cost of the job rather than that coming out of my pocket. So I'm just more glad that there was a resolution. It can ease the mind of the wife that there's a chunk of money coming in to replace the money that we lost, and we can get back on track now and we can move forwards. Just a quick note on that, we did have a graffiti job go south a couple of years ago, probably 2 years ago, where it was a $3,300 job, and we decided not to do chemical on the job, but we decided to paint the job, and we stated in our quote that we were just painting over the graffiti. We weren't fixing the walls or doing any gapping or any bogging up of anything like that. So the customer come back to us and said, hey, you said you're going to paint the wall, why isn't all this done? And we're like, well, that's not what was in the quote. The quote was just to paint the graffiti. And he's like, well, I'm not paying you until it's all done. So they're just the things you learn, like graffiti jobs or any job that has a lot of cost in materials, or it's just that oddball job. Try and get a deposit, or just we've had jobs where we're unsure about the job. We've had an oil removal job come through on a company that split the hydraulic line on their truck, but then they were blaming the owner, but then the owner was blaming them, and we were stuck in the middle. And I just said, that's fine, I can clean up the oil, that's not a problem. I can remove it off the surface, that's not a problem. You guys have to pay 100% down before I even step foot on the property. So that's what I did to solve the problem, because I don't care what they're arguing about. I'm just worried about my bank account. So I just said it's 100% payment on acceptance of the quote, and then we'll get out there and do it as quick as possible. So that's what we did, and that's what we're doing, pushing forward. There is a graffiti job, it's quote paid, and then we do the job. Oil removal, quote paid, and then we move on the job. So if it's anything larger than that, like if we're doing a big residential, we'll normally take a 10-20% deposit, just to get the ball rolling. But other than that, we've been pretty good with a couple of small bills that we've lost, but yeah. So that's the call. Let's get back into the rest of the video. Alright, so we're going to do a roof there. We're up on top of a hill here, so they rely on tank water. So they've already diverted the water. So I love trusting my customers, but I always like to double check, because it's me on the hook if something goes wrong with the diversion that's been put in place. So I always double check. And let's have a quick look. So they've pulled out both first flush bungs, and they diverted both pipes at the top. And that one there, don't know where that one runs. That one there's been, they've cut off the pipes on the bottom, so they probably don't actually use that tank anymore. So that's our main water tank there. So that's all been done. That's great. I've only been caught once, well, been caught twice. Never had a problem because I picked up on it before the customer, before I put chemicals on the roof, where the diversion either it was a T-piece on a flat piece of pipe and it was going to jump the pipe and go into the tank. So always double check, because you might see something that don't, because you do it all day. But yeah, little walkway here. There's a clothesline. We're going to get up here and do this roof now. So pretty simple, color one roof, dirty. So we're going to have to, what we're doing here is pressure washing, and then we're just going to do a downstream on the whole roof. That way we can downstream the skylight there, which is broken. I can see cracks in it. So we'll take a picture of that. And then what we'll do is because there's some new sheets down this end, which these are old sheets, they're all oxidized. These new sheets are going to be pretty slick, pretty slippery. So we're going to start up here, wash this section, and then we'll wash all the way down to the ladder on this job. And then what we'll do is I'll either wash this corner of the roof out. What we'll have to do is downstream underneath that, kill all that, because apparently the roof guys, the solar guys, cleaned underneath the panels before they put them down, but they didn't do jack shit. So people lie to people. And then we want to clean this top side of the roof first, because otherwise we're just going to have splashback coming over on this roof. So we'll just make sure we'll clean a footpath section over here. We'll clean that out so we can jump up, start cleaning out here, and then do this pretty roof. So this roof will be fairly easy to clean. Take me probably 2 hours, I reckon, start to finish. So time is 1:30. We're going to get stuck into it, put our headphones on and probably put a hat on and get into it. Turn some water on. Alright, so just started, got that all cleaned up. Doesn't look clean, as you can see. You can see all the algae, you can see the red staining in it, so should be able to sort that out with the downstream. We're not going to clean any further that way until we drop back down on this roof. Cleaned a little bit over here, and then we cleaned a little pad up here, so we're just going to jump over the top now, flush all that down. So I'll push it down halfway, push across, finish the bottom, push across, finish the bottom, and just kind of tidy it up that way so I'm not splashing water back everywhere all the time. So we'll get into that one now. Alright, so we just finished this whole roof, 3:15, so we've got 15 minutes. We're just going to flush out a little bit on the ground and then wind up the hoses and then we're out of there. So 2 hour clean, pretty good job this one. Feeling a little bit drained, a little bit lightheaded, so I definitely want to get off this roof. It might have been all the stress from the QCAT call today and the wife freaking out and everything going like that. So I might have a shower, relax, and then talk to you about that.